All right. Welcome back from Accra, Ghana. Yours truly, world famous Keke in the building in Ajawa Estate, broadcasting on 104.1. And of course, with me, like we said earlier, I have my partner up in here, Otumba Dayo, D1, one and only Dayo, D1 Adeneye. Good morning. How you doing, my man?
I'm fine, thank you, my brother. Looking good?
You looking better.
I try.
Yes.
Keep up with our young ones here.
Yes.
But we thank God for life. It's
Yes.
another beautiful day, and we thank you for joining us both on Kenny's FM and of course we're broadcasting simultaneously. You'll be watching on
Prime
Prime Time
Africa.
very, very shortly. So
All
thank
right.
you for joining us. We thank God. We hope our people are keeping safe. You are continuing the social distancing measures. You're washing your hands frequently. You're wearing your face masks as you go outside, if you need to go outside at all. But let us all try as much as possible to stay indoors, prevent or avoid, going to unnecessary places. It's still very much around. COVID-19 is still very much around. It's not going anytime soon. From what, scientists and physicians have told us. So let's all take precaution. It's not a fad, though. It's not fake. It's out there. It's real. I know people who have been infected. Our dear friend Azados recovered. We thank God.
And of course, the chairman emeritus, Dark Communications PLC, High Chief Dr. Raymond Dokwesi, also infected. It's not a joke. Just avoid men. Anybody ask you, just avoid men. Yes, that's it. Just avoid mouth, eyes, and again, you stay away.
From the nose.
Just from the nose. Once you avoid men, you'll be safe. All right. Welcome again, my man. What is happening? Yesterday, at the National Assembly, we have 4 people. They are fighting for a position to win an award for the biggest act. Did I say
I thought the Oscars already took place in February, but apparently Nigeria is still very much.
This is big. We have 4 people.
Why does it become so difficult for our people? I don't want to say leaders because I don't see them as leaders. People who are appointed into public offices to be held accountable. For you to just come and explain how somebody goes to court and says, I should not be arrested, and the court will issue an order preventing somebody from being arrested. I've never heard that happen in any developed country. You cannot ask not to be arrested. What you can say is, look, give me a chance to, prove myself. And you were called to come and explain how this was money spent. It's very easy, forensic. I spent 1 naira on this, I spent 2 naira on this, I spent 3 naira. There's no point to faint.
They ask you questions, you are saying that I will come back. Or they're asking you a question, you say you want to ask somebody that is not under oath. To say what?
If you can't beat them, you join them.
Well, this one, by joining them, you might collect some things that you ordinarily ought not to have collected. You are, there's a thin line. Yeah, that's why you said that if you want to be like that, you have to join them. I'm not
ready to faint, but
I know that.
You
are a honorable person.
If I chop that,
people that are not honorable are the ones that are fainting.
It's ridiculous, Kenny. We laugh but this is in year 2020. It's becoming ridiculous. I mean, how do we tell our children? How do we set examples? A professor at that, somebody who teaches, imparts knowledge
professor saying
coming up with that ridiculous. Just say, look, I embezzled the money, I'm ready to pay back.
And again, even the way he was looking, the way he was talking, it's obvious to everybody that you are wrong.
Kenny, the funny thing is we will now go to developed countries and ask for loans, ask for them to come and help us.
They laugh at us.
They will laugh at us. A whole professor is fainting. You are being asked a question. Look,
and you are there for a few months.
Just be
what
honest.
Happens if you are there for 2 years?
I can't account for the money. I'm not the only one that...
The whole money will be gone.
Look at our minister. Minister said, you are
chairman now. You, Madam Boma, you may not know. Ask your chairman. They know what I'm talking about. 60% of members of National Assembly collected contracts from NDDC. Ask your chairman. You don't know.
Wow.
That's some big word. And of course, all of them are all in the same one pot.
I don't want to say God help us. We have to help ourselves.
Absolutely.
Welcome to your show. Well, that's the opening salvo for this morning. Something for us to all think about. How are we going to rescue this country?
Too bad Too bad we can't receive your phone calls to discuss that because we have a guest in the studio.
We don't want to expose our guest to that.
No.
Because we have a lot to talk about.
Yes.
We haven't seen him in
months. He was on Kenny's FM when he wanted to release one of his singles, but just with me, but not with us. Last time we were together, like you rightfully said, was
some years back. That was Alagbado some years back. Yes.
Looking beautifully prepared. I love his hairstyle, and D1 likes his beard.
It's not just he has a new look, which has been trending on social media. I've been following. You see me, Seth, I'm trying to copy some of it. The only thing is just, there's nothing up here for me to die.
Lovely guys. I'm in between like a sandwich. Lovely to the right, lovely to the left. And of course, they're looking very well. Brothers and sisters, your hands are not too busy. Let's put a beautiful, warm welcome applause to one and only Korede Bello. I can hear background sound louder than the main audience. Who are the people there? Oh, them Babane.
I'm Oga Kaspa today there. And light on. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I mean, he needs no introduction. He's been on the scene for almost a decade now, if not more. Everybody knows Korede Bello. How have you been, my brother?
I've been well. I've been very well, sir. I've been keeping safe. Now that you mentioned it, I put out my first single more than a decade ago. I Love Nigeria. That was in 2009.
I thought it was African Prince.
African Princess. African Princess was the first song I put out as under Maven, as a Maven artist. Okay. That was in 2014.
That question is going to lead us to the beginning of Korede Bello. I already mentioned it, 2009.
2009?
11 years ago.
How old were you then?
I was early teens. I was still in secondary school.
Were you going under the stage name African Prince at that time? Or not yet?
Yeah, they used to call me African Prince. But I was still Korede Bello. I released it as Korede Bello.
Okay.
Yeah, because I wanted to go. Funny thing is, my producer, we're thinking about names for me, and I wanted to go with Corey's B, and I was just coming up with something interesting,
something funky.
Yeah, I was like, no, I think Korede Bello. Just go with your name would really work, and that's when I started.
So that means you found your calling. You discovered what you wanted to do from a very young age.
Yes, very young age.
How did your parents feel about that?
It was interesting because I still had to go to school, everyday school, secondary school. But I had this desire to go to the studio. So after school, I would go to the studio and just record. My producer back then, CJ, it was a 9-to-5er. It was a banker. So he too was when he came back from work.
Part-time.
Exactly. So we found a way to make it work. The only thing was I needed to be serious with school. Like I needed to take school seriously. And that was not a problem because I like, I like school, I like education, I like, have a knack for gathering information. And
how about your dad or your mom? Were they interested in you going into music at that particular age or maybe later?
So it happened, it just everything just started happening. It wasn't like there was a day I woke up and said, I want to be a musician. Okay. It was just something I was always doing, and they were just watching, my dad paid for my first guitar, so he was obviously in support of it. My mom was always, she's proud of me. It's like telling her friends, Shemo, Kenny, Shemo. Actually, fun fact, my mom used to say, she used to ask, her friends, Shemo, anybody in Kenny's music? She said, do you know anybody? Wow. Now that I remember it. Wow. So yeah, she was in support of it, 100%.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's rare. To find
at that particular time.
Most parents will say, go to school first, then we'll face the music. But if you're able to carry both at such a young age, which is why I asked the question, but it's good that once you find your passion and your calling from a young age, it's and you know which direction you're going. But like we always preach, education is always, so if the music or the whatever doesn't work out, you always have something to fall back on. So from there, you started writing, you started producing, and you came up with your first...
My first single, yes, sir.
and then African Princess after that.
Yes. Before African Princess, I put out Forever, because that was a song that introduced me to Don Jazzy. Or that's a song that Don Jazzy got introduced
How
to me
did you
with.
get to meet Don Jazzy?
Oof, it's an interesting
Love to hear the
story. So I had, I had my own small community of fans and well-wishers that were supporting me at the time, and everybody was like, okay, how can we get Korede to the next level? I think one of them, and they were like, so someone knew somebody that knew Don Jazzy,
Okay.
and actually it was on two fronts. So this is interesting because I went to perform at one show one time, and someone met me there. I was like, oh, well, I performed, and the person liked it, and I was like, yo, what is it? What's the story? I know this person. And on the other end, someone also introduced my music to Don Jazzy. They took my music. Hear this kid out. It's really interesting. It has, he performs like Banky. He has this Justin Bieber vibe going on. So on two ends, Jazzy, got the music. I was like, who's this guy?
Who's a superstar?
So he listened, he listened to I Love Nigeria Forever, and he, asked us to come for a meeting. My manager and I, and we went for the meeting.
Still the same manager.
Still the same management. Yeah,
That's
Casper.
very good.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Very good. Because in these days of our new boys, they just jump and jump and jump. They jump record label, they jump management label, they even jump their girlfriends.
I think maybe it's because we're in a streaming era, so everybody's just streaming.
They're streaming left, right, and center.
Now, the reason we keep asking you to tell the story from the beginning, most only know the Korede story from God Win.
Yes, sir, true.
And one of the things we always preach is look, there's no such thing as overnight success.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
There's
stages.
There are stages to this process.
A series of overnight successes.
And even before that success, maybe a couple of failures.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So we must let our young ones know that it's okay to fail, but as long as you get back up, you keep getting up.
Absolutely.
So for them to understand that Korede didn't just come up with Godwin and Don Jazzy didn't just, magically pick him out of nowhere. Yep. You've been building this thing. That's why we ask. Now,
let me ask him a question.
Yes,
the
sir.
first time that you first came out with your first single, with the time that Godwin came out, how many years?
Can you
put in between?
I think 5.
Yeah, 2009 to 2014. Yes, yeah. 5 years.
Or 5 years.
The same thing we asked Yemi Alade. Also,
ours was it 6 years?
It was 6 years.
6 years.
Wow.
Between
the first single and the first
and Johnny.
Break.
And Johnny.
Yeah. So, a lesson for our upcoming young ones.
Yeah. Yes.
If you, at first you don't make it, get up, keep trying.
Yep. Absolutely.
The Kenny's music and the prime time that we are all enjoying today started next door in a living room just like this. And one of the early editors is there, standing there. Don't be afraid to start small. That's the lesson here.
He was the cameraman. He was the editor. He was an assistant producer. What else? Graphics.
Wow.
Even food.
Wow. He's a runner.
To God be the glory today. He's a CEO.
I mean, even from the word Godwin, God cannot win if there was not something to be won. If there was no story behind it. So
God cannot win for a lazy man.
That's
what you meant.
Yeah, exactly. There's always a story behind, the eventual victory. You have to be victorious over something. So that in itself is saying that, to buttress your point about there is no overnight success, and eventually you break through, you break forth, and something would emerge new. There's no overnight failure as well. Because the series of actions that have led to the failure. But
we're going to take a quick break. We take one of your songs.
Yes, sir.
You're on with Keke and D1. Professor is out on the streets as usual. Korede Bello is here along with Casper, Lighter, and the rest of the crew. We take his song, and we will open the phone lines, and we will let you talk to Korede and let you ask some questions. But you can also reach out to us on Twitter, on WhatsApp, and ask any questions you'd like to Adeneye, D1, Adeneye, Kenny, Ogungbe. And of course, your Twitter and your handle?
Korede Bello.
Korede Bello. So send your questions, anything you'd like to ask Korede. We'll be right back. Kenny's 104.
Mikasa, Sukasa, your house is my house.
Yes, sir.
Lovely song.
Your house is my house because I'm in your house right now. So
Congratulations on the
Thank
hit.
you, sir. Thank
First
you.
and foremost, I want to say thank you because
sir.
Kenny's FM broke this song.
Absolutely.
It was supposed to be out like on a Friday, and you gave it to us on a Thursday. And again, since then, it's been a national anthem on Kenny's
I'm
FM.
grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Big ups to the whole Kenneth's team, radio, TV, and to you, sir.
Thank you.
To you, sir. I'm really grateful. You know, it's interesting because back in the day, Kenneth's was the first place I heard, you know, a song that was hot.
Thank you.
So for me to have my song being premiered, I think it was called premiering on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Premiering again, so it was a big deal, and it's still a big deal for me. I'm honored.
Wow.
To have it premiered on the platform.
Another question for you, Korede Bello, before
Yes,
before D1 jumps on you.
It's Corona.
No, you don't get Corona. You don't go have them in Jesus' name. The song, when that song came out, a lot of people did so many things on Instagram, singing the song, splitting the screen into two. You singing like you're singing to a fine girl. The girl is like coming back to you.
Yes, sir.
But there was a particular one. You were wearing a Tiwa Savage shirt, and you were singing the song. And I know girls, they love you die.
Yes, sir.
Let me say that again. Girls, they love you die. Just like D1, girls, they love both of you die.
You know, we can't, not on the same.
Look at your beard. Look at it. You age don't get this one.
I don't have anything here to die.
No, come on. Seriously speaking, how do you cope with all those girls, man? How do you do it?
I think it's the grace of God. I think the
This
grace
was-
of God covers many things.
True
It's not
that.
just So far.
True that.
It's a lot of work, you know, because it's a lot of attention. Female, I love female energy, you know. I love having female energy around me. But it can also be, because it's very fragile. It can turn both ways real quick.
Can be distracting.
It can be distracting. It can be destructive. But most times it's you know, feminine power is the creative energy. You know, in the world is the things they can make you and they can break you. So it's a
So you
tightrope
have to be
to walk on.
you have to be careful.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
But that still doesn't that doesn't answer because how do you handle it?
That's what I'm
How do
saying.
you
I said
keep
it's
things in
great.
perspective? No, because
Okay.
we're not just saying to expose you, but
Yes, sir.
for others to also
To
learn.
learn
Makes
from
sense.
You know.
I think the most important thing is there would always be entanglements.
it. Hey.
There would always be
Another level.
entanglements. Yes, sir. But the most important thing is, especially regarding the long journey, it's about purpose. You know, there's this person I'm identifying with or I'm attaching myself with have a role to play in my journey. You know, is this a short stay or is this a
Long run.
a long term? And usually the short stays is a waste of time, a waste of energy, and it will just set you back. So I advise every entertainer or anybody, you know, if you want to choose a partner, you know, it's hard, you know, to choose because there's so much attention. But it should also always be, is this person aligning with my destiny? That's my destination. Is she going where I'm going? I think that's the most important thing. That's how I go because I haven't seen it yet. I think.
Okay, the same question. I'm going to hand it over to D1.
Yet you are talking 30 years ago.
No, we 30 years. We know you when you were 18, 19, 20, 21, 23. Should I go on?
That's what I said 30 years ago.
How did you? I would like to know how you handled
Thank
yourself.
you. You know he's a journalist. He asks questions. So this one.
No, but I don't shy away from such questions. No,
Yes, sir.
sincerely, I mean, they say hindsight is the best. I wish I'd done some things differently, but I thank God for having gone through the process. I learned a lot, like you said. It's easier when you pick somebody that's going in the same direction because your friends, whether male or female, really they determine your success or failure.
Absolutely.
You know, I always say, you know, when they catch an armed robber or somebody doing it, the first thing they say is, my friend introduced me to it. It could be a male, it could be a female. So pick your friends very carefully, whether male or female, whether it's boyfriend or girlfriend. They help determine how far you go in life. I picked my friends carefully, as you can see. I'm sitting where I am today. But as per the female,
I pick my friend too, so
As
that
per the
it doesn't look like a one-way street.
That's true. So
Yes, back and forth.
I have an interesting question about that. what if you pick your friends, but your friends don't pick you? For instance, I always hear when you say, move with this kind of a move. But what if those people don't want to move with you?
That's the easiest thing.
You leave them now.
You keep walking.
Yeah, but what if they are the type of people that you need to move with?
Hey, look at
That's
that.
what- that's-
This boy.
It's good.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes in life,
Yes, sir.
let's say you're going from A to B.
Yes, sir.
Of course, you need people to help you get. You need people along that to help you along that journey. Some will come easily that God will place in your. Some you have to aggressively go look for. Let's say you're looking for a contract with Dangote or whatever. He's not going to come looking for you.
With NDC.
Are you mean? Some you have to get up aggressively, go market yourself, go. I mean, when you wanted to get signed, people assisted you, like you said. Some people were shopping from this left, from this right. They were sending you materials out.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes God puts those people in places to help you achieve your dreams. But you also have to play your part. You have to write the songs. You have to produce yourself. You have to get up and make yourself known. So God will place those people, but you also have to do your part. But in life, there's some people that don't want to be associated with you, even though you need them.
Exactly.
But sometimes you just have to go around them or go out. You won't give up. If that one person will not help you, there will be plenty others. When one door closes,
Another one open.
even if the window is open, but unfortunately for human beings, we are focused on that closed door. Baba, you help me. Baba, you help me. Whereas there are 20 other windows that will lead to your dreams. So that's my answer for that. If you need one person to help you achieve one particular... Look, there were one or two artists, big name artists now, that came to Kenny's at that time, but we were unable to sign because we were busy, we were full. And we called other labels and said, look, Baba, you need talent, so please listen to. And they went up and blew. We didn't show to hear. If God didn't use us, he could use somebody else. But you must put yourself in that position. It's like a football game. Toba play for Manchester. You can succeed at Chelsea. Someone left Manchester and became a bigger star at Real Madrid.
And he came back to Manchester. He's now a bigger star looking to resign his contract. Pogba.
By the way, the sky is blue.
I know that.
You know the sky is blue?
I know that. Okay. You remember, I can tell you that I know the sky is blue many years ago.
By the sky is blue, you mean Chelsea?
Of course.
Okay.
I always, it's between me and Abareke. Abareke go with any team that's winning.
No, Chelsea all the way.
But Liverpool is what is happening.
We know.
Sorry, they don't. Which ago? Liverpool is
30 years
doing
ago.
what?
It doesn't matter.
That
God wins still.
You sound like a Liverpool fan.
I am a Liverpool fan.
You are not alone. See Rashiman.
They don't walk alone.
Blessings.
No, you guys are champions. We have to give it to you.
As a Liverpool fan, just only focus on me. Even if I'm talking, just focus on me.
Let's jump
Yes, sir.
right to it.
Yes, sir.
You land at Maven's Records.
Yes, sir.
How did you pick?
So many people on Mavens when you landed. How did you cope? Ooh. So many.
It's how do I say that? When I landed in Maven, it was an interesting scenario. It was a very interesting relationship as well because it was like prove yourself. You know, it's different when you're signed to a label and maybe you're the only artist that they're focusing on, or at the moment, you know, the spotlight on you
is on you.
It was different because we got signed. Well, DJ Ricardo and I got signed, and there was Tiwa, there was Dr. C, there was the Prince, and you know everything was still like, you know,
Ricardo, everybody.
Exactly, everything was really hot. So it was like you know you put like fishes into the.
Did you feel any pressure?
I think so. Looking at in hindsight, there was pressure because I might have not recognized it as pressure, but it was pressure because you're always working on like, okay, what do I do next? Or how can I do better than I did last time? And sometimes subconsciously you're thinking, how can I do better than the next person? Because, and I think the pressure it wasn't from inside, it was from the fans. Naturally, human beings, especially when it comes to entertainment, we have we like to put this against this. I think that was the origin of sports or entertainment. You know, imagine, the Roman
Which one
times.
is
You
better?
put
You put
gladiators,
gladiators, for
let's say
entertainment purposes.
entertainment purposes. So I think people still objectify artists as when they see a whiskey,
It's
they want to compare
with
the whiskey with a David. When they see a burner, they want to compare his doings with what fella did. Is that we don't really appreciate people
for what they
are
and what they bring to the table.
We are only comparing them to what they're doing against what is happening on the other table. So it put pressure on the artist. Not that they want the pressure on themselves.
But Korede,
yes.
You go into the studio.
Yes, sir.
You work with Don Jazzy.
Yes, sir.
The song comes out.
Mm-hmm.
God win.
Yes.
It blows. It's everywhere.
You're saying pressure. How about people that they didn't produce God win when God win was hot? Don't you think there's pressure on them?
I mean,
what do you say to that?
So how did you feel? Did you feel like, okay, I've arrived?
Yeah.
Or
and again, you got to add to what D1 is asking. You also got signed by Nigerian Police Force.
Oh yes,
that's a big one. And again, we put everything together in answering the question.
It was interesting times, like I said. It was there was so much expectations, from Korede. I put an African princess code outside. It was a frenzy, a lot of fans, we were hungry for more, and we didn't know where to go next. It was really like that Justin Bieber craze around Africa.
We know.
It was crazy.
When you say fans, you are well, you have to, because you are the star. We're talking from the young to the old.
Yes. Spectrum was
from
really
police
wide.
to church.
Yes.
This song was in
police to church.
I went to church.
That was our anthem in church. When inside church.
So I can imagine
huge.
There was a lot of pressure on you.
Oh, it was
and
pressure.
Your fans were varied as well.
Absolutely.
From the little baby to the
85, 90 year
old. To the presidencies.
To the president.
But majorly, babes.
So Godwin introduced me. I keep saying this.
It opened doors.
It opened doors, and it opened doors to a new type of fans. And that's where the real pressure came from, because how do I please all these people? I was not ready to please all these people, especially not at the same time.
Right.
The songs I was putting out before then were love songs, teenage friendly, or at least young people can vibe with. But Godwin just introduced me to a new chapter. There's a presidency, there's Muslims, there's Christians. I'm going to perform in church. Inspector General of Police likes me. He endorsed me as the first Nigerian Youth Police Ambassador. So it was a lot of pressure.
Let me tell you something. There was a period that I was actually, in my mind,
yes, sir,
I was actually a bit concerned for you. Because I said, the expectations on you, because the image of Korede Bello was, when somebody starts to sing your songs in church, the police endorse you, and all these agencies, moms and dads are saying, I want you to be like.
Exactly.
The pressure is on you to keep that straight line.
Absolutely.
You don't even want to spit in traffic because they'll say, So how did you cope?
I feel like God set me up on purpose with that one. Because of the way we were going with the brand, or let me not say the brand, but the energy that was going on, you're just putting out songs and just so much attention. And we're likely to go with maybe another version of Wiz or another version of any young pop star. And because God has a purpose for my life, He intentionally put me in a different direction, that it was too strong a direction that we could not easily just put it back. And unfortunately, at that point, because everybody's attention is on me, I lost a lot of young people's attention.
Who wanted you to do the
other? Who wanted me to be young and vibey and do what other young people do. And I still suffered. I was still suffering for that for a long time, because it was a struggle. What do I do next? Who do I please next?
Look, Korede is trying to paint this, and I understand. You're trying to be nice about it, but you see, it goes back to what Keke and I always preach. You are very honest that God pushed you in that direction.
Absolutely.
And there's a reason.
Absolutely.
So you couldn't go astray. You are pinned.
Exactly.
People see you as clean image. No, my kids follow my daughter.
So these kids, they came from their home to come and see you.
So the pressure is on you. The onus is on you to keep that clean image.
Absolutely.
When you are appointed a special ambassador for the police,
yes,
of course you can't be seen lighting up a doobie, somewhere. Absolutely. with a bottle of what you're not supposed
Absolutely.
to be drinking.
Naturally, I'm not that type of person. Naturally, I think God was just trying to,
Reinforce that.
reinforce that. And I think there's a new word we use for it now. I think it's preservation.
All
I
right.
think
On
God
that,
was trying to preserve me for something else.
hold that thought, if you don't mind. We play a song. We'll be right back. Korede Bello is still here with us. Otumba Dayo D1 Adeneye is also here. Keke Ogungbe will still be here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right. Welcome back. You're still rocking with Keke, D1 and ID on your 104.1 Kennis FM with a special guest. Once again, if your hands are not too busy, if you are not too busy with your hands, if you're not holding your camera phones, trying to put all this on Instagram, Twitter, and all that, and again, if you're not chewing gum, you're not too busy, make some noise. See the way he's looking at me. Make some noise. Round of applause. Warm welcome to our one and only Korede Bello.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
The applause is better now. The other time, the applause
Was from behind the scenes.
Permit me to send a big shout out. A big shout out going out to Oluwa Feyisayo. Oluwa Feyisayo. Baba Oye. Deputy head, a boy with a swag. Shout out to his entire class of 2020 for their school and thank all the teachers. We're saying thank you to the teachers for a job well done. Congratulations, you're graduating today. Congratulations once again to Oluwa Feyisayo. Oluwa Feyisayo. I cannot even pronounce that well. Can you imagine? Oluwa Feyisayo Babaoye, Deputy Head Boy. Congratulations. Congratulations coming from Keke and D1 and of course an ID and Korede Bello.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Permit me on that note to also say congratulations to my daughter. She's graduating on Friday.
Wow.
Ashley, Adeneye. Of course, it's going to be on Zoom. But we'll find a way to
Congratulations, Ashley.
And
Congratulations.
Brian's birthday is also this weekend. Happy birthday, Brian Adeneye.
You guys are too much. The ID celebrated the birthday of his son. Keke celebrated birthday of his sons. D1 celebrating birthday of his sons. All like 1 week interval.
Wow.
Around the same time, not like
What does that mean? That means they work well. On stage.
In conjunction with.
Featuring.
Congratulations to one and only Brian celebrating your birthday.
Back to our special guest, Korede
Bello.
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't want to say now to the tough question. All questions are tough.
Yeah.
But Godwin comes out.
Yes, sir.
Blows all over the place.
Yes, sir.
You're going places you haven't been.
Yes, sir.
I mean, performances.
Yeah.
Attractions here and there. Entanglements.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say
Yeah, I said it earlier.
Most people didn't know.
Yes, sir.
You had, of course, we knew you were young, but you were just 19 at the time.
Yes.
How did you cope with all the pressure? Because we know from having dealt with artists, sometimes you are performing 3, 4, 5 performances a week, sometimes 2, 3 in a day. How did you cope with all these requests and pressures?
At that age is when you get to transit to adulthood. But you begin to have new experiences as a young adult. Excuse me. So it was really tough for me and on me. But the good thing is I had good people around me who were about, the business, about, my welfare, about the journey, the purpose. So it was no time to really, go off the book. But mentally, because this is not something anybody else could do, mentally it was affecting me. It was tough, especially because, like I was saying earlier, Godwin put so much pressure on me. Not the song itself, but the reaction and the aftermath of the song, which is naturally when you have a big song like that, there's the pressure to recreate another Godwin, recreate another Dorobuchi, recreate another, exactly.
Fans, even on yourself.
Exactly, even on yourself, whether we like it or not. So there was a lot of.
Mentally, not to cut you.
Yes, sir.
I want you to be specific.
Yeah.
People will pressure is just okay. Maybe somebody asking you for money.
Yes, sir.
And that.
Yes, sir.
When you say mental stress,
Yes, sir.
be a bit more detailed on that.
When I say mental stress, I mean like mental disability or mental breakdown. even though I didn't recognize it as such back then, but I recognized that I was not mentally fit at the moment. My mental health was in trouble. How do I put it? Was what? Yeah, it was in bad shape. That's why currently, it's part of the reason why currently I advocate, I'm an advocate for mental health. I have an initiative that, we're actually advocating and doing all we can to spread the message
about. What were some of the symptoms? What did you exhibit? What were you going
through? I wasn't clinically depressed. I wasn't like, I didn't go see anybody at the time, but I just know that I was, at some point, I just didn't feel like doing anything. I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to do this. It's too much. I didn't like the pressure. I didn't like the...
Were you able to speak with your manager or speak with any family member?
Oh, yes, I did. I spoke with people, but it was like, it's just like many things that we traditionally and culturally just take for granted and like, don't worry, Mr. D, don't worry.
You'll get over it.
Get over it. I just want to do things, you understand? So, it's when it's, sequential, it's a serious, you know that there's trouble. But I think everybody goes through that phase. I'm grateful that, it didn't get as bad, because if I had a lifestyle, for instance, of like some of the artists that I know, it would have been really bad.
Lifestyle meaning like they drink a lot, they smoke a lot, they do all kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah, that part, and maybe like if I put myself out as bigger than life, it would be, I would want to meet up with that standard. But because I was very chilled, so I could deal with, whatever it is that was coming without, trying to force myself on people's face.
So when you say it got so bad, like you didn't want to do anything.
Yes, sir.
As in, you didn't want to go out, you didn't want to perform, you were tired of writing songs, you didn't want to interact with people. How bad did it get?
I'm a people person. Even if I'm feeling bad, I still want to make other people feel good. I still want to spread joy. I still want to be the reason why someone else smiles. So that part did not change. Even if I didn't want it that way, but it's just something, scripted in me that just wants to make other people feel good. So it's not easy for other people to see that I'm going through stuff. But personally, in terms of music or writing, just the apathy of it all. Like I didn't want to be part of it anymore.
You're just tired.
I was just tired, and until I needed to find clarity or purpose. I needed to reconnect with my why I was doing this in the first place, because you get carried. It's not the fame that really takes you away. I think when you start having hit songs, and the hit songs take you away, because you want to you go wherever they lead. Like for instance, if I'm performing, if I have another Godwin, it just takes me this, takes me that, and you just follow it. It's like an anchor, and many people take that for granted. So I needed to find clarity. I didn't want to just make another hit song or another song. I needed to connect with my why. I needed to search deep, and until I found that, it was easier for me to come back, because I realized that I wasn't doing this for myself in the first place. This music thing is not for me. It's for people.
You're not alone in that.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan.
Yes, sir.
Went through something similar. I just learned when you watch The Last Dance, at the height of his career, he lost his father, the pressures. He had to literally hide himself in hotel rooms, because every time he couldn't go to dinner, he couldn't go out. Somebody wanted an autograph, somebody wanted a picture, he just had, and he got tired of it and said, look, you know what, I'm retiring. And that was it. But a year or so, 2 years away from the game, he found his center of gravity, came back. Okay, I know why I'm playing basketball, and I'm not playing it to impress anybody. I'm playing it for the love of it. I have nothing to prove to anybody. So he walked away from the game for about 2 years and then came back. Did you have to step away from the game, from music, from writing, from your fans? Did you have to do anything to find your center of gravity?
Actually, yes. I don't call it stepping away. I use the analogy of driving, for instance. So everybody's driving on the same road. Some people are going super speed. Some people are going different, And the hit song takes you super speed. So I like to call it, I had to slow down to reconnect. Where am I actually going? Like, am I just going to be kicking for another hit song? Just going to take me speed again. So speed. So it's like, recycling the same energy and go, I need to connect. Okay, why exactly am I moving? Why am I in this car, this life, this body, this purpose, this career? What exactly am I supposed to do with this car and this tempo that I'm going? So that was it for me. I call it, just parking to the side or slowing down and let other people drive. It's okay. Direction is more important than speed. So I did have to find that center of gravity in myself to understand my why. Oh, okay. As I'm driving, I'm supposed to,
enjoy the view,
say hello to people, and maybe pick some people on the road. Where are you going? Okay, I can help you get to where you're going, or I'll play some music while we're at it. So that was the why for me. Like, this is a platform for service, music, and it's deeper than just having hit songs. I think in this generation we really, really disconnected from the purpose of the creation of music itself. I think maybe it's definitely you experienced it. Music became me. Music became about I.
Hey, I want to blow.
Yeah. Exactly. Instead of we. Even in the context of the music is about, this is what I can do. This is what it was less about we and what we should experience, because I see music as shared experience. Now,
memories.
Exactly. It's just memories. It's memories. So I want to be part of people's memories, and what I realized that my purpose is to help people create or share memories of joy. That whenever they go back to any of my music, they go back to a place in their mind where they felt good, or they shared something that made them feel good, or hope. It's joy, hope, and love for me. Those are the tenets of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing.
You're still listening to Kenny's in the Morning. Of course, this package is coming to you on Primetime Africa. You're watching this on AIT. With us, one and only Korede Bello. You've been explaining all those things you went through.
Yes, sir.
Was that the reason why you now had to put a foundation together?
Oh, yes. So in my search, I realized that nothing else matters if you don't have optimum mental health. It doesn't matter how much you have, how high you get, or how many hit songs you have. If your mind is not right, you would just be a waste eventually. There will be no need for it. And I realized that it applied to every field, because I always try to see, like, what can I really do for people while I'm here. And I thought about maybe education, maybe I could get more people educated, they can help themselves and all of that. But I realized that it's not something that is feasible for me to do. Like, do I dash Nigerians money? I realized that.
How do you give away? Which that's is the norm now.
Exactly, and that's also not sustainable.
Yeah.
But if I can help to spread the message that their mind needs to be in the right frequency, they can make the money themselves. They can sustain themselves. They can. What was the first thing I said?
Equip themselves.
Yeah, they can equip themselves. They can educate themselves. Because a lot of people you can educate a thief. Because, like, with the drama that's happening in National Assembly, those are just educated thieves or educated, greedy human beings.
Yeah.
So you can educate an evil person, but you don't change the person. It just becomes an educated thief. So the fundamental is the mind. If we can get people to get their mind right, they will be in a better shape, better space, and better state of mind to help themselves.
All right. We're talking with one and only Korede Bello, and we're going to be opening the phone lines shortly.
Very, very shortly.
And
it's important that we go through this process, because I was asking Korede off air.
Yes,
I hadn't seen you, in more than a couple of months, about a year or so.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
and I had to ask Casper, I had to ask you, like, what happened? And of course, we spoke off air, but it's also important. I felt it's something for you to share with your fans.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of our child prodigies go through this.
Ooh, it's hard.
Besides you and maybe one other, I can't really recall too many child prodigies that have survived and lasted this long.
Maybe
exactly
Benita.
Transition from teenage into manhood or womanhood, and continue to do what they love without the
the baggage that comes with it.
Exactly, a lot. And it's important because a lot usually break down they get fatigued, either because it's not what they want to do, or they pass that stage of pleasing their parents. Their parents drag them into it, or they're pleasing their fans. But I'm happy that you found you understood that there was a problem.
Exactly.
That you understood that, wait a minute, there's a problem. Why am I doing? You went back and you understand and you've sorted out the process. And we are happy, we your fans and your numerous and millions of fans, we're happy that Korede is back. When I started to see your pictures again on internet, I said, oh, wow, thank God this man is back and the smile is back. That Korede smile is back. It's always there. And we thank God for that. Good to have you back. So we're going to jump back now to the jollification and all the good vibes and all the good songs. Right after this next one from Korede, we'll be right back. We'll open the phone lines and let you ask Korede your questions.
Welcome back. You're still rocking on Kenny's 104.1 FM. Is the Kenny's in the morning. And thank you so much. This package is being put together, being filmed for TV. And of course, it's Primetime Africa when it goes on TV. And of course, it's Kenny's FM on radio. Thank you so much. D1 is here.
Yes.
ID is not here.
Yeah, but we will ask all the questions Professor would have asked Korede.
I have something even here that ID does with our people.
Okay.
Maybe I can ask that correctly. If you take a look, you see so many. I will turn the thing forward for camera. I see so many people.
Yes, sir.
And again, it's about Kings of Lagos.
Okay.
About 20 or 21 people supposed to be here. And again, you have to name one male, one female.
Okay.
I don't want to.
What context, like?
Okay, they're looking for Kings of Lagos.
Okay.
Kings and Queens of Lagos.
All right.
The picture here has so many. Take a look at it.
Yes, sir.
It has so many people in there. You have to add 2 more.
Okay, but add 2 more.
Yes, for Kings of Lagos.
First of all, I don't see my picture there, so
Okay.
definitely. Well, maybe I'm not just the king of Lagos.
No.
My face not
It was intentional to add yourself.
Okay.
So when you say my picture is not there, what next I'm expecting? Okay, myself, I'm a king. Of course,
my territory, it's beyond Lagos, but I'll take Lagos.
Okay.
Because I'm a Lagosian.
All right.
By the way, Queen of Lagos. I think I'll pick Chidinma.
Chidinma is there.
Yes. Oh, to add to it.
Yes.
Oh, Queen of Lagos.
And Tiwa Savage is there as well.
Oh, why don't we have so many queens in the industry?
Same thing I said. Same
Before,
question.
it used to be male-dominated show, but now we're having a lot of women. You should encourage them to be more.
Sure. So I'm trying to think of
a female.
So Thames is strong. DJ is also Queen of Lagos.
There you go.
I'm not Queen. I'll go with DJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, let me show people.
Let me show the screen on the screen. Edit.
Yes. Okay, they can show it during edit. They even have the copy.
Oh, makes sense.
Okay. I don't know the next question. This one is ID segment. You remember the question again?
No.
All right. But
Professor might call in.
He picked himself and DJ. All right. Lovely. You have a new project coming up. Before we talk about your project, let's try to talk with people calling you.
Okay.
And of course, the phone number is 0818-435-6095. Once again, 0818-435-6095. When you call, we would like you to ask Korede Bello any question. It's not our regular political program. It's not our regular news program of the day. We know the biggest news, so just go straight to the point and let's talk with Korede Bello.